big stick will get you far in life, but it's not always about how satisfyingly large it is. Sometimes it's about how you swing it. My last video touched on how to use enemies' weaknesses and your environment to your advantage. I left out an entire class of damage which is used by probably 90% of players. Physical damage. Physical damage, also known as standard damage, is further split into 3 subcategories: slash, pierce, and strike. Slash weapons are typically sharp blades like katanas, curved swords, and daggers. They're most effective against fleshy or lightly armored enemies. Pierce is good against medium armored targets and scaly enemies like dragons. The weapons in this class are spears, lances, and thrusting swords. Strike damage is better against heavily armored targets. Think blunt weapons like hammers and maces. If it doesn't fall into one of those 3 subcategories, it is considered standard damage, which is kind of a catch-all typeless category. These include colossal swords, great swords, and twin blades. Some weapons and classes have movesets with a hybrid mix of damage, like the Claymore's R1 is standard damage and the R2 is pierce. Consider this when boss resistances change during phase transitions, like Godfrey being more vulnerable to pierce or strike damage before Hoaraloo comes out and he removes his armor, leaving him more vulnerable to slash. Pierce damage has a unique damage modifier called Counterattack Damage. Hitting an enemy with a piercing attack during their attack animation will do an extra 30% damage. If you're having trouble with Crystallians, Miners, Skeletons, or Imps, switch to something that deals strike damage to make quick work of them. Crystallians are unique because they have 90% damage negation to everything except strike damage until they are staggered. Whip out that big ol' hammer and lay it on them. Although you can get by the entire game without so much as a thought besides press R1, swing big weapon, if you're having trouble, maybe try switching things up. You never know what might work better.